Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's me, Nick Driver. I'm a New Mexican. Today, we're just going to talk about the Kob4 first congressional seat debate we had yesterday night. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you go watch it. They have it all up on Kob4. I will put the link in the description. Right now, I'm just going to do a basic overview of the questions and give some opinions on some of the things that happened last night. If you guys want me to do a full breakdown of the debate, remember it was an hour-long debate, so if I do a full breakdown, it's going to be about an hour and a half long video. If you want that, just put in the comments, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Let me know if you want me to do that full video. But today we're just going to do a quick breakdown of everything. So last night was the Kob4 first congressional seat, or CD1 special election debate, all right? They only invited the three major parties. They did not, Aubrey Dunn was not a part of the debate last night, which was a little disappointing in my opinion. Not going to say it would have been much better with him, but at the same time, I don't think they should have left him out. And I don't know if they did it because of time restraints or if they're just going to totally ignore the independent who's running for the seat. But anyways, on that note, we can go down. We're just going to go through each of the little sections. So they introduced themselves, of course. During their introductions, they all did fine. Their introductions were what you would expect from an introduction. Other than that, let's read this really quick. So Kob4's Tessa Mentos and Chris Ramirez hosted a debate in the race for the first congressional district. Democrat Melanie Stansbury, Republican Mark Moores, and Libertarian Chris Manning are running in the special election. So those are your three candidates, of course. Like I said, their opening statements, go watch them. Kob4 has it broken down into each section. So if you want to just skip things, you can. I recommend watching the whole thing. There's a lot going on. I'm going to just point out a few things that I noticed last night and about after we go through each of the questions. And I'll just point out what I thought. So I will have to say I believe Kob4 did a great job with their questions and their moderating of this debate. So kudos to them. Oh, man. But let's go into the questions. So how do you protect people from gun violence while balancing the Second Amendment? That's a great question. We don't want gun violence, right? Nobody wants anybody to die from a gun. But yet we do have a constitutional right in the Second Amendment that shall not be infringed. I will tell you right now, when you go through these, each one, you basically get three responses. And almost every single question, the three responses are kind of exactly the same. And by that, I mean Melanie Stansbury read the Democratic agenda piece by piece. So if you know anything about Democrats and anything about the Democratic agenda, that's the answer you got from her. Mark Moores, last night, you were a bully. Like, that's all you did. And I'm sorry, but I don't know how I can support you when all you did was attack Stansbury's stances on things. We wanted to hear your answers to the questions. We didn't want to hear your attacks on Stansbury. Okay, that's what I got to say about that. And that's basically what Mark Moore did all night, just like Stansbury just repeated the Democratic agenda. Now, as for Chris Manning, he answered the question. And that's how all these questions went. You got the Democratic agenda being spewed back at you. You got Mark Moore attacking Stansbury, and you got Chris Manning being direct and answering each question. All right. So how do you so that's a great question. I recommend going through again. Highly encourage you all to watch the debate, come up with your own things. If you want me to do a breakdown, I will. So how do you solve high unemployment rates and worker shortage together? Yet again, same things. You got nothing but Democratic spew, Mark Moore's attacking, Chris Manning answering the question. You're going to have to weed through a lot of fluff from Melanie to find the answer she gave. You're going to have to weed out the attacks from Mark Moore to find out what she made or what he's made. And then for Chris Manning, you just have to listen. It's that simple. Like last night's debate, in my opinion, was won by Chris Manning. And his answers on every question, because he answered the question mainly. There was no fluff, there was no attack, straight to the point, got it out. You know, how do you balance gas and oil economic impacts with the push for renewable energy? Nuclear energy was the best answer I heard all night. And that was Chris Manning. The other two, you know, climate change, the science is clear. Oh, we need oil. Yes, we do need the oil industry. And I've said it before in the past videos, is we do rely on the oil industry for a lot here in New Mexico. So we can't just attack it right off the bat. We need to start putting infrastructure in place for these new energies before we can start attacking the oil industry. And that's all I'm saying. But the nuclear option is really good. I mean, I like that answer. Immigration and border issues. You know, how do you address national security and the humanitarian crisis at the border? There is a humanitarian crisis at the border, and it was brought up last night. And, you know, the amnesty problem, or the asylum process is mainly the thing that they all talked about, which is good. We do need to reform that process. Like I said, go through each one, watch the whole debate, and come up with your own thoughts. But I thought Chris Manning brought up a good point about why do we make them come all the way to our border to file for asylum, which causes this backup at the border and causes crisis. So, I mean, another good answer. Like I said, you mainly got Democratic agenda from Melanie Stansbury, and you got attacks from Mark Moore towards Stansbury, and then you got Chris Manning just answering the questions. So, like, per a debate, if I was going off a debate, like just based off a debate, not knowing any of them or any of their policies, just basic thing, Chris Manning won this debate last night, and I really believe y'all should look into it some more. I do have the ABQ Q&A breakdown. I have 2 videos on that. Make sure you watch them all the way through. It's got all 4 candidates. It's a 2-part series, and it breaks down a Q&A. Yet again, those answers are kind of the same as well. What should we do with the Trump border wall? How do we secure the borders? You already know the answers without even having to watch that, what each one said. Melanie was a strong no. Mark Moore's was a we need to finish. And Chris Manning was we need to work on technology and resources and the asylum process. So, like I said, this is a quick breakdown. Not really much going on. Not trying to waste everyone's time. Well, I can't say waste, but at the same time, if you want the full video, just leave comments and tell me you want me to do a full hour-plus video on this, and I will work on it. Let's see. Social issues. What is the position on police reform? How far do you think it should go? These are good questions, Kob4. I applaud you again for your questions, and yet again, that was probably one of the most divisive questions, or one of the... Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention something. I had notes that I forgot to put in front of me, but let's see. On this one, the national crisis and humanity crisis, like I said, you have to cut through a lot of fluff for Melanie and Mark Moore's. But this one, even the moderators, came out, because you see how this one's 5 minutes, 4 minutes, and most of them are 4 minutes, and this one happens to be 5 minutes. That's because the moderators told Mark Moore's and Melanie Stansbury that they gave them each 20 seconds longer because they wanted to hear the answer to the question, not all the fluff that they were putting out, which is hilarious, in my opinion, is that the moderators are like, can you answer the question? Like, we want to hear the answer to the question, not all this fluff and this attack. Just answer the question. So they got an extra 20 seconds each on that question, which... And then Chris Manning was just standing in the middle, just waiting for them to finish their argument, basically. All right. Who won the White House and how do you plan to work with those agree? They all had the same answer for that. It's over. It's done with. There's not going to be an overturn. There's nothing going to go happen. People who are still fighting it right now are just, they're pushing for something that's never going to happen. The fact of the matter is Joe Biden is the president. And, you know, it may change. He may be a one-term president. He may be a two-term president. We'll see what happens. It's America. People are allowed to choose a lot of things. But I do have to highlight this last part. So at the last part, candidates got to ask questions to each other. All right. So, of course, Melanie asked Mark Moores a question, and Mark Moores asked Melanie a question. The issue was they took about 30 seconds to bash each other before even asking their question. Like that, it's like the whole thing. And Melanie's just strung on. It was like 6 questions in one. And Mark Moores was just kind of like, really? Why would that be the question you ask? I mean, but at the same time, all they really did was attack each other. We're going to play this one clip from the whole debate last night because I think this was, in my opinion, what everyone needs to hear.
I'm going to go to Mr. Manning. Now is your opportunity to ask a question to any candidate here tonight.
Exchange between Ms. Stansberry and Mr. Moores highlights that if you vote for either of them, that's all you're going to get, more divisiveness. And so I don't want to ask either one of them a question. Instead, I'm going to ask you, the voters, a question. Is that what you want in your representative? Because that's what you can get if you vote for either one of them. Instead, I'm going to focus on you. I don't have any questions for them.
Mic drop. That, in my opinion, was the best part of the whole thing. And he makes a good point. Like, if you watch this whole debate, you will see Melanie Stansberry fluffing up the Democratic agenda, and you'll see Mark Moores attacking Stansberry. And then when you look at the last questions where they question each other on their things, it's just nothing but 2 attack pieces. And Chris Manning did an amazing job with that last answer. And honestly, he has my support, and I hope you all take the time. Please take the time, watch the whole debate, make decisions for yourself. Go check out the Albuquerque Journal Q&A. I have videos on it. I'll put them in the end screen so if you can go click it. Make sure you watch it all the way through because there's 4 candidates and there's 2 candidates in each video. Make your own decisions. But last night, in my opinion, Chris Manning was the winner, and Chris Manning has won my vote so far. I believe there's another debate coming up here soon. We'll see how that goes as well. But for now, that's all I have for you on this. Like I said, this was just a basic overview. I can go over some more stuff, like how Melanie constantly was self-promoting herself and constantly saying, as your future congresswoman. She was really doing the speak into existence thing, which if you know the secret, you know the secret. And then she was constantly saying, I will work with President Joe Biden and my colleagues across the aisles. Like, that was like almost in every single one of her answers. And then Mark Moores was constantly attacking Melanie over the Breathe Act. And he brought it up way too many times instead of just answering the question, where Chris Manning, like I said, straight to the point, answered the question, moved on to the next one. Very little negativity in anything from him. So again, that's all I got for you today. Hit that like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. Remember, write in the comments if you want me to do a full breakdown of the debate. But I really think you should take the time, watch the debate, go through the Q&As, and get to know your candidates for this first congressional race. All right? Well, my name's Nick Driver. I'm a New Mexican. I care about you. You guys have a great day.